All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about calls by prominent Democrats and leftist pundits for Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor to step down. From Washington Times here says, beat it. Democrat senator says Justice Sotomayor should consider retiring. Senator Richard Blumenthal has subtly hinted at the possibility of Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor stepping down to allow the current Democrat majority to choose a successor. During an interview with NBC News' Sahil Kapur on Wednesday, Mr. Blumenthal, while expressing admiration for Justice Sotomayor, 69, suggested she take into account the strategic consideration of retirement timing, just in case President Biden loses in November. Senator alluded to the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who faced similar calls to retire during President Obama's term, but chose to remain on the bench. Justice Ginsburg passed away in 2020, and her replacement was nominated by President Trump. I'm very respectful of Justice Sotomayor, said Mr. Blumenthal, Connecticut Democrat. I have great admiration for her, but I think she really has to weigh the competing factors. We should learn a lesson. And it's not like there's any mystery here about what the lesson should be. The old saying, graveyards are full of indispensable people, ourselves in this body included. The comments came amid the broader conversation about the lifetime appointments of Supreme Court justices and the timing of their departures, which can significantly impact the court's composition and the broader political landscape. Mr. Kapur made the argument for the justice to retire in a recent column penned for The Guardian. Would we rather Biden replace Sotomayor with a centrist in 2024? So Sonia Sotomayor is a centrist, right? Or Trump replace her with a far-right Federalist Society goon in 2025. So I thought this was interesting. Clearly, this indicates that the Democrats are not confident in Joe Biden's chances of being reelected. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be hearing anything about this. I mean, especially publicly, right? I mean, okay, I'm sure behind the scenes, these conversations happen a lot more often than we actually know. But for a Democrat senator to essentially come out and say this, he's saying it without saying it. And all of a sudden, there's all these articles. It's almost like there's a coordinated effort here to pressure her, Sonia Sotomayor, to resign. Now, there was also an article back from February of this year, 2024, that Sonia Sotomayor was the only sitting member of the Supreme Court who requested rare medical assistance during travel in recent years, including during a February 2018 trip she made to South Florida. She needed to be accompanied by a medic. Okay, it said here that she's had type 1 diabetes since she was a child. There's been stories over the years that she's not in the best of health. She's, as the article said, she's 69 years old. She will be turning 70 this year, which, frankly, for the Supreme Court isn't really that old. But I think the biggest takeaway here is that the Democrats are not confident at all in Joe Biden being reelected. That's been reflected in a number of polls this year, in particular in polling done in the competitive states, the swing states. It shows it would almost be a clean sweep for Donald Trump, even beyond the margin that we typically see in terms of shenanigans going on in many of these states. So does Sonia Sotomayor step down? I tend to think that she will not, that she's going to try to hang on for as long as she can, because that's frankly what these people do. They don't give up power easily. They just don't. And frankly, she's not that old. I mean, she seems to, at least for the most part, be able to manage whatever conditions she has. There's no reason to think she won't be able to make it through another term, assuming it's Donald Trump. But I mean, would it shock me if she steps down? No, but I tend to think that the odds are against that happening. But we'll see. Time will tell. So anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.